Every neighborhood has its secrets, a story whispered from ear to ear, never written down, but known to those who dare to listen. Tonight, we venture into one such tale, a true account of the final house on the street, the house that no one dares call home. Our story begins in the early 1990s in the sleepy suburb of Coldwater Springs. At the edge of the neighborhood stood a dilapidated, two-story Victorian house, leaning towards ruin. The locals called it the last house on the street. It had been abandoned for decades, its windows shattered, its wooden boards rotting, and its front yard overtaken by tangled weeds. But why did no one live there? Why did the mail stop being delivered? And why did the children of Coldwater Springs keep their distance, peeking through the cracks of the fence but never daring to step inside? The house was built in the 1920s by a wealthy doctor and his wife. It was their dream home, a place where they hoped to start a family. But the dream was short-lived. The doctor's wife, Annabelle, tragically passed away under mysterious circumstances just 1 year later. Rumors spread that the doctor became consumed with grief, withdrawing from the town and eventually vanishing, never to be seen again. The house was left to rot, and strange occurrences began almost immediately. Locals spoke of glowing lights at night, shadows moving past the windows, and chilling sounds echoing through the empty halls. Over the years, brave tenants tried to make the house a home, but none ever stayed. In 1994, the last known residents moved in. The Hendersons had purchased the home at a bargain price, excited to restore it to its former glory. But what they experienced over the next 6 months would haunt them for the rest of their lives. It started small, objects going missing, unexplained cold spots in the house, and the faint sound of footsteps in the middle of the night. Then it escalated. The daughter, Emily, began complaining of a woman in white, watching her from the shadows of her bedroom. Her parents, chalking it up to nightmares, assured her it was just her imagination. But they, too, were being watched. One stormy night, everything came to a head. The family had gathered in the living room during a power outage when a piercing scream echoed from upstairs. Emily began to cry, pointing toward the staircase, where a shadowy figure now loomed. The parents swore it wasn't a trick of the light. They fled the house that night, abandoning every possession they couldn't carry. Eyewitnesses later confirmed seeing the family running barefoot down the street in the pouring rain, never looking back. The Hendersons never returned. They moved to another state and refused to speak of the house again. The property was put back on the market but never sold. To this day, it remains abandoned, a hollow shell of its former self, imbued with an eerie silence that even the bravest souls avoid. So, was it the grief of an abandoned soul that cursed the last house on the street? Or was something far darker at play? Whatever the truth may be, one thing is for certain: some doors are better left unopened. And if you ever find yourself on the wrong street late at night, and you see that one house at the end, the one with no lights but the feeling that something, or someone, is watching, don't knock. Just keep walking.